Hey, does anybody have any chapstick?
Oh, I do. I always keep some on hand. Here you go.
Thanks. Hey, does anybody have toothpaste by chance?
Oh, I do.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you never know when you're gonna need it. Here you go.
Oh my god, I am starving.
Do you want some chips? I have some in my bag.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. Here you go.
Okay, I know this is really random, but does anybody have a magic 8-ball I can borrow?
Oh, I do.
Really?
Yeah, I never leave the house without it. Here.
Oh my god,
Where is it? I know I have it in here somewhere.
it's okay. I don't need a tiny umbrella that bad.
I found it. Here you go.
I still can't believe I lost it. It was this gorgeous mask that had these purple feathers coming up the top, and it had music notes all over it.
Wait, do you mean like this?
Oh my god, yes, that's exactly it.
Here, you can have it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I have 2 more in my bag. Take it.
Hey, do you have any change on you?
No, I don't. Sorry, but I do have this. It's probably worth something, right? Sorry this is taking so long. There's just always such a mess in here. Oh, but I found it. Here we go. This color works for you, right? It's not what it sounds like, okay? This is not cat treats. It's human food. Oh, don't look at me like that. You already had dinner earlier. You don't need any more snacks. You know, I'm allowed to come into the kitchen without feeding you. This is my house. I make the rules.
This one has not been cooperating, so she is not being in the video. Here, I'll give you a treat for being my star. Take it. Take it.
So how come 3 months after Christmas, you still have your Christmas lights up? You know, I thought about taking my Christmas lights down, but it stayed just that. A thought. I'm sure some people might say I should have taken them down by now, but I'm in no rush. I mean, who is it really bothering anyways? It's been 75 days since Christmas. 75! And yet she still has her Christmas lights up. It's embarrassing. I took my lights down December 25th. I know the holidays get busy, but she has had plenty of time to take them down. So why hasn't she? You know, there's some people who leave their lights up year-round, and I don't judge them for it. In fact, I'm starting to get tempted by the idea. Aren't you concerned that might upset some of your neighbors? So, you ever gonna take those Christmas lights down, Sarah? Only when your husband starts wearing pants when he checks the mail. Seriously, James? What? I don't care what my neighbors might think. This is my house, not theirs. If they don't like it, they can move. Why does it bother you that her lights are still up? It just looks tacky. I mean, it's spring and she still hasn't taken them down. And now my kids are asking me if we can put our Christmas tree back up. It's causing chaos in my household. It's just lights. What's the big deal? Besides, my lights are red and white. Who's to say it's not for Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day was 3 weeks ago. Whose side are you on, huh? Yeah! Keep staring, Kathy. I hope you get blinded by these twinkling lights. You know, I've lived 10 years here on this street, and we've never had an HOA. But I'm starting to think we might need one. I just don't understand how somebody can be bothered by something as simple as lights. I mean, it brings character to the neighborhood. And it's much nicer to look at than Kathy's creepy gnome collection. Everybody else might not have the balls to do something about it, but I do. I have had enough of this. Kathy, what are you doing? Taking down these god-awful lights. It's spring, for God's sake. Spring doesn't start until March 20th, so I'm gonna keep living in my winter wonderland. Now get off my property before I call the police. Call them. I'm sure they'll thank me for taking down this eyesore. Let go of my lights. No. You broke my lights! Well, if you'd taken them down months ago like a normal person, they'd be safe in a cardboard box in your garage, wouldn't they? James, go now while I've got her down! Coming! My garage lights! Ugh. Oh God. Hands up! Oh my God. Oh my God. James, are you okay?
Has the sky always been purple?
911, what is your emergency?
No. My lights! Oh, they're all broken. I can't use them anymore.
Oh, really? Darn, what a pity. Yeah, I'm at 786 Clover Avenue. We're gonna need an ambulance. Yeah, my husband fell off of a ladder, so we're gonna... Ugh! So let me get this straight. You threw a mailbox at your neighbor over Christmas lights? Only after she threw a leaf blower at my face, which she did because you choked her out with Christmas lights. Christmas lights that she broke. That's destruction of property. You better add that to your little notepad, sir. Well, thanks to that biatch, Kathy, now all my lights are ruined and my house looks just as boring as everybody else's.
Was it worth it?
Well, my kids aren't asking me about when they're gonna get Christmas presents anymore, so I'd say it was.
It wasn't worth it. Not even a little bit.
Do I think she'll forgive me? Of course. In fact, I'm sure once this all blows over, she'll even thank me for getting the job done for her. What are neighbors for, am I right? Uh-oh, the sexy shirt has made a comeback. Yeah, my husband fell off of a ladder and he... a little faster than that.
Well, it's not as easy as you might think. There's a neighbor totally looking at me.
Now his kid's coming out. He's probably gonna be like, hey, you see that lady down there? That's running around with a ladder on her back? Don't ever talk to her. Go ahead and stare. I gotta finish this before the sun sets. So about a week ago, I posted a video talking about endometriosis, and you guys left a couple of questions, so let me go ahead and answer some of them. Also, last time I wanted to do a yellow look because the color for endometriosis is yellow, but I was really scared to try that, but I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna be brave and try yellow. If it doesn't look good, oopsie daisies, I'm not a makeup artist. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try and see where it gets us. So one of the questions I got was, did I have a hard time getting doctors to believe me for the endometriosis? So I was really lucky. Pretty much every doctor I talked to believed me. Based off my symptoms alone, they were like, oh yeah, that sounds like you got endometriosis, girly. Now what I had a hard time getting them to believe was my PMDD, but that's a whole other story for a whole other day, and PMDD Awareness Month is next month, so you can hear about it then. But yeah, for endo, like, nobody really had issues. They were like, okay, yep, you sound like you're in a lot of pain, and endo sounds like it's the culprit. You've got all the symptoms. I will say though, I did search the hell out of gynecologists. I purposely made sure that their website said endometriosis on it. I would recommend that for somebody, like, when you look at gynecologists, make sure their website says endometriosis. Bonus points if they are a specialist, that's what you really want, but those are far and few between. So if you see endometriosis on the website, that's at least a good sign that they've heard of it. So the next question is, how do you get checked for it? So here's the complicated thing about endometriosis. It is very, very sneaky, and it is very hard to see. That's why I recommend going to a specialist. Now, I'm sure each doctor has different ways that they diagnose it. Actually, with me, they diagnosed it based on symptoms alone. They were like, we are so positive that you have it that we're just gonna go ahead and put it in your chart, and if you don't have it, oh wells, but if it's in your chart, then insurance is more likely to cover it. Now for the actual diagnosis, the 100% certainty. So the first thing that they had me do is get 2 ultrasounds. If that came back clear, the next step was gonna be an MRI. I had to get both an external ultrasound and an external, which I have beef. All my life, everybody was like, oh yeah, getting an external ultrasound isn't that bad because they put this warm goo on your stomach. You liars, it was not warm. It was cold. She put that on my stomach and I was like, ah! There's nothing warm about that. But anyways, yeah. Moving on. Both my ultrasounds came back clear. So then I go to the MRI and that also came back clear. And it is very common
for your results to come back clear when you have endometriosis. It usually doesn't show up on imaging unless you have a very severe case. So once everything came back clear, it kind of proved to the insurance like, hey, we're not finding anything, so we have to go inside to see what it really is. So that's when I got my surgery, and in the surgery is when I got the official diagnosis. Surgery is the only way to get a proper diagnosis. Like I said, really bad cases do pop up on imaging, but you really got to get in there to see it. It's a very sneaky disorder. So the next question I got was, is endometriosis something that eventually stops, or do you have to keep dealing with it for the rest of your life? So unfortunately, endometriosis is for life. They still have not figured out what causes it, and there is also no cure. I mean, you can get the surgery, and like me, I do feel way better after the surgery, but it can always grow back. Like, so far I've been good, but I've definitely heard stories from women who have had to get surgery multiple times. They get the surgery, they get it all removed, and then like 2 years later they're back on that operating table getting it removed again. And it's a very case by case scenario. That was another question I got, is if endometriosis has different symptoms for different people, and it 100% does. And it's one of those disorders that things you wouldn't even think are related to it are. Like, I've heard cases of patient had endometriosis on their lungs, and every time their period came, they had a hard time breathing. Like, it's crazy the things that it attaches to, and if you don't get the surgery, it's gonna keep growing, and it's just gonna keep causing problems. So there's all kinds of symptoms it can cause. I can only really tell you about my symptoms, but yes, I would say it's a very different experience for different people. Like, for instance, endometriosis has 3 stages, but the stages don't necessarily have anything to do with how much pain you're in or how many symptoms you're feeling. There's some people who have endometriosis and have no idea because they don't get any symptoms, and then there's people like me who had it and were just in agony. So yeah, I would say the symptoms vary for sure. Now, this next question, I had 2 different people ask me this, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the answer. I'm gonna say it anyways, just in case there's people who are watching this that can put in the comments the answer. But I had a few people ask me if UTIs are common with endometriosis. And personally, I did not have that problem. I've only had 2 UTIs in my entire life. One of them was when I was a teenager, and one of them was right after my hysterectomy, which it's common to get a UTI after a hysterectomy. But I don't know. I feel like I have heard people say that's a thing, but I don't want to speak on it because that was not my experience, and it's not something I've looked into either. So if there's anybody watching this that has endometriosis and they're a little more familiar with this question, please answer it, because I did have people curious about it, and I just didn't know. This thing's like empty, but I'm too lazy to go grab the full bottle. Oh, it's totally empty. Darn it. But yeah, that's all the questions I got, and here's the makeup. What do you guys think? I was a little too scared to go like full yellow, because just not a color I use very often. I usually just do a little bit of yellow and not a whole lot, so I was too afraid to go full blown, but it's still cute. Anyways, if you have any more questions about endometriosis, let me know. If you have questions about PMDD, also let me know. That's it for now, folks. Folks. How do you say that word? I never say that word. That's it for now, guys.